up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the real Super Mario, aka the loot box hero, aka YouTube's greatest fat man, bringing you another video. Alright, so the last time I was talking about black representation and Kendrick Lamar, and trust me, I'm not finished with that yet. There's a follow-up coming, but I decided let's lighten it up a little bit. Let's talk about some video games real quick. So, of course, the Game Awards was last night, and I have to say, Jeff Keighley, he kind of put on a banger. Alright, you know what I'm saying? The Game Awards is usually kind of hit or miss. Like, it usually has a bunch of announcements. Most of them are like indie games or games you're never going to really mess with. You know what I'm saying? Then there was some good announcements kind of sprinkled in there. Last night had not as many announcements as they usually do, but quality announcements though. Announcements that are actually interesting. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I am going to talk about a few. So, of course, we want to continue getting videos like this from me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do. Continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/rsmario128. Like my video tweet. Share my video tweet. Now, shout you out at this portion of the video. Let's get on into it. So, first off, the game that everybody's been talking about from the Game Awards. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, which I have to say is kind of a lame name. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And a lot of people were saying that, you know, Witcher 4 was woke, and that Ciri, you know, she had the man jaw and all this other kind of dumb stuff, and they're saying that the game was gonna be woke. If there's any game that's gonna be woke, it's probably this one. Alright. Alright, Neil Druckmann's coming back. You know what I'm saying? The main character is a bald Asian woman, kind of like the last bald Asian character that he had in his last video game. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But there is some interesting stuff here. Apparently this game is going to be an action-adventure sci-fi game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they wouldn't bring back Neil Druckmann for nothing. There's going to be some narrative, you know, stuff in this game. There's going to be a strong narrative in it, more than likely. But probably it'll be more light than The Last of Us was. You know, if you look at the trailer, it looks like she is a bounty hunter and she is looking for these people called the Aces. And if you see a bunch of different articles here, you know, about thieves in different places. So more than likely the Aces were like a band of thieves that pulled off a massive heist, and now she's trying to track them down. And maybe there's a little bit more to that, like maybe there's a, hopefully not a vengeance angle. Because, you know, my whole, you know, I like, you know, revenge stories, but my revenge boner is kind of flaccid at this point, okay? Last of Us kind of killed it, all right? We're done. We're raw. It's done. It's over, okay? All right, I'm tired of the revenge stories for now, at least from Neil Druckmann anyway. But she looks like she's trying to track down the Aces. One of them happens to be Camille and Johnny, so that's going to be pretty interesting. You know, again, the story is, the game itself is supposed to be kind of like inspired by stuff like Cowboy Bebop and Akira. So, you know, hopefully there's like a character customization system in there. Like, she's a named character in a narrative, but we can customize her. You know what I'm saying? You know, that would be nice. You know, because, I mean, V in Cyberpunk is a named character. It's part of the narrative. But you can still customize them. So, you know, that would be nice, you know. I wanted someone to so the next one is Dungeon and Fighter Arad. So, of course, we've got, you know, Genshin is so popular now. It's every day it seems like there's a new Genshin-ish game. You know what I'm saying? You've got Withering Waves, Zenless Zero Zone, whatever. You got the Infinity Nikki. It seems like every day there's another Genshin clone, and now we have yet another one coming from Nexon. This one is Dungeon and Fighter. And it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks pretty interesting. But the crazy thing about this is there's yet another Dungeon and Fighter game called The First Berserker Kazan. And this one is actually being done by the Russo brothers, that, you know, the guys who did the Avengers movies and the Gray Man. You know, the Gray Man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they're doing the narrative for that game, which is kind of interesting. But the crazy thing is, both of these games take place in the same universe. So this happy-go-lucky anime game and this dark freaking Souls-like take place in the same universe. Alright, so, you know, you can cross a hill in the Souls-like game, and all of a sudden the sun comes out and there's waifus and stores and happiness, you know, or either you can fly too far and the sun goes down and you gotta fight demons to survive. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is interesting. I'm intrigued. Okay.
Welcome, Enzo.
Mafia: The Old Country, bro. I am a Mafia fan. The Mafia games always have a pretty good narrative. Mafia 3 had one of the best narratives I've seen in a game in a long time. I can sit down and watch the Mafia 3 cutscenes like a movie. Alright, now the problem with Mafia 3 is the Mafia 3 gameplay was so repetitive that you're better off just watching the cutscenes as a movie. Alright, you know, and so now that they're going back in time further to, like, you know, old time Sicily. So maybe this will be like, maybe this is gonna be in the turn of the century. I'm not quite sure what date is gonna be, but yeah, it's looking cool. You know what I'm saying? Old school. You know what I'm saying? Like the birth of the Mafia, you know, back in Sicily. I'm cool with this.
Band together and prepare to claim. The life of the Night Lord.
Elden Ring: The Night Reign. So this one was completely unexpected. Alright, I did not expect them to do yet another Elden Ring expansion. So I'm like, okay. Now, I'm not the biggest Elden Ring fan, mainly just because I haven't really played it. You know what I'm saying? But I do like the story and narrative from the game. And so, you know what? I'm excited for y'all. Y'all got a new thing. You know, Elden Ring fans, y'all got a new thing, cuz going for it. You know, of course, the story seems to be that there's a Night Lord that is, you know, he rules, I guess, some part of the Elden Ring world or continent or what have you. And so now you have to deal with him. Maybe he was sealed away, and because you killed, you know what I'm saying, all the other people, now his seal has been unlocked, and now he's coming back for revenge. I don't know, but it's more Elden Ring though. Now this is what things get interesting, okay? Alright, there have been 2 games that I have been asking for from Capcom forever. Alright, the first one is a Dino Crisis remake, okay? A Dino Crisis remake in the same vein as Resident Evil 2. Alright, just take the RE engine and just smack some Dino Crisis on there. We in business. I'll pay you full price, okay? Full price for this game. Dino Crisis, 4K, Resident Evil engine. Let's go. We didn't get that. But we did get the other thing I've been asking for. An Onimusha game. And of course, the Onimusha game was more possible because samurai games are big now. You know what I'm saying? There's Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei, you know, Way of the Ronin. Samurai games are back in vogue now. So of course, Capcom is going to bust out its samurai franchise, Onimusha, The Way of the Sword. And guess what? I am here for it. Alright, if you want some more Onimusha, check out the Onimusha Netflix show. That jam was kind of a banger. Alright, now probably my most excited, the most excited game from the Game Awards for me was Project Centric. All right, bro, this looks like a freaking banger, man. RGG is they own one with this one. So basically, if you don't know, RGG are the guys that made Yakuza, all right, and they make the Like a Dragon games. Now, of course, Like a Dragon is cool, all right, it's fun, it's cool, the RPG elements are cool, but old school, like, you know, inspired by freaking Shenmue, you know, style gameplay of Yakuza, that's what I want. And look, M-rated, he gutted that man with a bottle, okay? Yes, please, okay? Bro, I want that. And look, not only are they doing that, but they're also doing a virtual fighter game too, probably with the same combat engine, just, you know, specified for a fighting game. Let's go all the way. I mean, because virtual fighter really, you know, the virtual fighter, I can't remember if Shenmue was inspired by the virtual fighter engine or vice versa, but I know they were really close. So, I mean, RGG are making these Shenmue-like games in Yakuza and Like a Dragon. Why not just have them make another virtual fighter? And guess what? I'm here for it. We need another 3D fighter. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I'm more into like the 2D fighters, like Fighter Z, Street Fighter, stuff like that. But yeah, man, Tekken needs some competition. Yeah, bring Virtual Fighter back.
So all we wanted, for her to go to the woods, to go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Of course, we have The Witcher 4. Of course, arguably the biggest announcement from the Game Awards was The Witcher 4, and this is the one a lot of people have been talking about. Again, people said this game was going to be woke. People said that Ciri was ugly. She had the man face. I strongly disagree. It seems like the angle that they're using to explain this is a bad angle. If you look at her from other angles, she looks pretty good. She looks like herself but older, you know. So maybe they're being slightly dishonest on purpose, you know, which it is what it is. But yeah, Witcher 4 is looking like a banger. Now here's the thing: I do have some issues with this game because there are some questions we have. All right, because there were multiple endings to The Witcher 3. Only one of them ended with Ciri being a Witcher. So that means that those other endings are probably not canon anymore. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is, how did Ciri become a Witcher? Because if you know, the way you become a Witcher is usually as an adolescent or a child. You know, like kind of like being a Jedi. They bring you, you know how Jedis bring you in, they train you as a kid, they raise you up in the way of the Jedi, and then they train you, you know. The same thing goes for Witchers. The only difference is instead of just training and going through trials, you have to go through a mutation process called the Trial of the Grasses. And usually the female children die. They never really survive these trials. So they could never really make female Witchers. All right. So the fact that she became a Witcher is interesting. Okay. It's like, more than likely, there's probably going to be some sort of retcon or something that would explain how she became a Witcher. Otherwise, they got some explaining to do. The other thing is, like, Ciri is like the most powerful person in the Witcher world, essentially, because she has Elder blood. All right, so she can use like Eldritch Uber powers. You know what I'm saying? If you played her in Witcher 3, she basically had permanent Genji blade. All right, you know, if you play Genji, you know what I'm saying, slash dash, you just kill everything. Well, she had that no cooldown. She just permanently. That was just her regular state. She was just one-shotting and dashing through everything. All right, so you can't really have a good game if your character is already overpowered. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever play Marvel Rivals, you see everybody is just ungodly broken, and it's just like it's kind of like that, you know what I'm saying? But it's only one character, though. And so they would have to find a way for her to start at the bottom, and you can build her up like a regular RPG character. You know, if you play Metroid, you know what I'm saying? You know, there's always some convoluted reason that Samus loses her gear from the last game, so you have to go and get new gear for this game. So how did you know Siri lose her powers or not have her powers so that you could build her up again throughout this game? You know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now it's possible that she could have cut herself off from her Elder Blood powers, or maybe going through the mutation process to become a Witcher, maybe that changed her DNA, and since her DNA changed, she doesn't have the powers anymore. That would be a pretty interesting, you know, answer to that question. But it would also kind of suck because, you know, you kind of want her to eventually get them back. You know, maybe that's her quest. Maybe she's going to get her powers back. You know, maybe going through the Witcher trials and stopping the White Frost, you know, took away or damaged her powers, and now she needs to go somewhere to try to figure out a way to fix her abilities. You know, the other thing is, where is this going to take place? I don't think this is taking place in Nilfgaard. All right, I don't think this is taking place in Nilfgaard. I think this is taking place somewhere else. And there's one clue from the trailer. You can see it's really cold. All right, it seems like really cold. They seem to be doing like, you know, Nordish type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think this is in Kovir. All right, I think that this takes place in the north, takes place away from Nilfgaard. I think this is in Kovir. All right, because if you remember, the first thing we saw from The Witcher 4 years ago was that poster with the pendant in the snow. Kovir is known to be very cold. All right, so maybe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she, you know, went north to try to fix her powers, and that's why she's there. Maybe she went north to start her own Witcher order. You know what I'm saying? She's on some Rey from Star Wars type of stuff. Just hopefully better written. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm hyped for this. I think the Game Awards was pretty good. I think the fact that that old Black Myth Wukong didn't win was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Astrobot deserved it. You know what I'm saying? Check out the Black Myth Wukong video if you don't know why. You know, I have beef with that game. But yeah, that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.